Hello everyone, welcome to this video on my channel, and today we'll be predicting the Women's World Cup. I'm going to go through the bracket and I'm going to give you my predictions. Some might say it's early, but I'm up for doing it already, and I don't think I'll have much time to do it closer within July. Let's start with Group A. Bit of a tricky one. I don't think the Philippines are in the running. I think they are the weakest team out of the four. New Zealand are the hosts. At one point, they looked pretty promising, and then they didn't stop playing as well. Switzerland, they were competitive in the last Euros, even though they went out. They were in a tough group, which included Netherlands and Sweden, but they still gave it a good effort. And then Norway, they did top their qualifying group, which Switzerland didn't. Norway, they didn't look good in the last Euros. Of course, were the only team to concede to Northern Ireland, got hammered 8-0 by England, and lost to Austria. There are question marks on Norway. I think they have enough to get first out of the rest of these three. And then second, I think I'll say Switzerland. Group B, Australia, they host this in probably one of the best times in their history. Sammy Kerr's an amazing player. They've developed up to a brilliant team as well. This is not a straightforward group, however. You got the debuts Republic of Ireland, who have performed fairly well recently. Nigeria, always here at this tournament, very experienced, and Canada as well, good team as well. So it's not straightforward. I think Australia will get first. Canada, I'm saying, will get second. Team, I think, is a bit overrated, but I think they've got enough to go through. And I think Nigeria will get third, and Republic of Ireland will be fourth for me. Group C, Spain, Costa Rica, Zambia, Japan. It looks fairly straightforward. Spain have looked excellent recently. I think they'll get first. Japan, I think, have more than enough to go through, but probably aren't as strong as Spain. I don't know anything about this Costa Rica team, but what I can say for Zambia is they were the only African team to get into the Women's Football Olympics. And they also came third in the last Women's Africa Cup of Nations. So who knows? Maybe they could pull off some kind of upset, but I don't think they'll go through, but I think they'll have enough to finish above Costa Rica at least. And then we go to Group D, which is England's group. I think England have been given a favourable draw. I think they'll get 9 points, in fact. I'm saying they'll get first. And then it's between these three teams. None of them are particularly convincing. I mean, Haiti, I think, are in the running, having proved themselves of beating Senegal and even a Chile team that has been at the last World Cup. This is a good, maybe a good chance for them. If I've got to pick one, I'll go with Denmark. And then I've got China third. Denmark, I think, usually do perform well in the Euros. I mean, they finished bottom of the group, but no, they didn't advance out the last group, but they were with Germany and Spain, who are difficult teams. You could go either way, but I think I'll just go Denmark. China also, funnily enough, had Germany and Spain. But let's go to Group E, where we have the winners and the finalists in the same group. Also, Portugal are here as well, and so are Vietnam. I don't know if this is their first time here, but they've not been given a kind group. I've got USA to go first. I think they are one of the contenders of the tournament. Netherlands don't have Sarina Wiegman anymore, but they've still got some strong players, including a very good goalkeeper. I've got them second. Portugal have been a bit on the rise. In fact, they were also in that group with Sweden, Netherlands, and Switzerland, and they also were competitive as well. I'm going to say they finished third and Vietnam are fourth. Now, Group F, this is more simpler to predict. There's an argument for who will finish first and second. France have Hervé Renard as the manager for the first time. Renard has made it was not necessarily well, but he's made it a great effort with some good performances with some underdogs in the Men's World Cup. And France, I do think they'll be an outsider in terms of their chances for the World Cup. I think they'll get first. Brazil, they should get second. I'm not particularly sold on them in terms of making a deep run yet. I'll say Jamaica are third and Panama are fourth. Group G, well, one team's going to be top. Sweden, 9 points. I'm going to say that. And then, as it is fair, it is an interesting one. South Africa, they won the last AFCON, including beating Zambia, who were at the Women's Olympics, and Morocco, who got to the final in their own country. Italy, well, they had a terrible Euros last time. They did top their qualifying group, and then they were in some kind of friendly cup that involved themselves, England, Belgium, and South Korea. And you could say they improved, having seen them against England, but England didn't play either their A team. Most of their best players were playing against South Korea and maybe Belgium as well. And then Argentina finished third, I think, in the Copa America last time. And they even gave some decent performances in the last World Cup, but didn't get the results they wanted. In fact, they got 2 draws, including one against Japan, and came from 3-0 down to 3-3 against Scotland. For my prediction, I'm thinking Italy versus Argentina is a draw. I'm thinking Argentina beats South Africa, and then South Africa beat Italy. So my table, Argentina second, South Africa third, and Italy fourth. I'm not convinced with Italy. And then Group H, well, you got the Euro finalists in this group, Germany, and I believe they were knocked out by Sweden in the last World Cup. And they got to the quarterfinals. They're one of the best teams in this tournament, I would say. They should get first place here. And then second, you got 2 teams that were entered the final of their respected confederation tournaments. Morocco and Colombia both reached the final. And South Korea, well, I've been criticising Italy, but South Korea actually lost to them. I'll say Colombia gets second, Morocco third. Now let's go to the knockout stages. Norway versus Japan. Both sides perhaps not at their peak compared to in the past, but it should be a good game. I've got Japan going through. And then Spain versus Switzerland. I am going to say Spain get the win. I think they're just the stronger team. And then you've got match 53. We've got Australia versus Denmark. This should be a win for the hosts, Australia. I actually have them as a dark horse. Even before they beat England in that friendly, I had a strong feeling that they could go very far. England versus Canada. Canada could be a banana skin for England, but I think England have enough to go through. I think Sarina Wiegman's actually the best female manager in the world. And USA versus Argentina. USA should win that. Sweden versus Netherlands. This will be a great game. In fact, I think this is my favourite tie of the round of 16. If all of these were to happen. Sweden got the better in the last Euros, but Netherlands actually beat Sweden in the semi-finals to get to the final. It's not an easy one to call, but I will say Sweden go through. France versus Colombia. Well, France going through, and then Germany versus Brazil. Another very good tie. I believe in Germany more, so I'm picking them to advance. And then we go to the quarterfinals. Let's start with Japan versus USA. Two of the last three finals were between these two teams. USA, of course, have been in at least the last three finals. I don't know who won it before 2011. I think USA have enough to go through. I think they're just the stronger team overall. Spain versus Sweden. This will be a really good tie. Both teams have some very good players. Stand-up player being Alexia Putellas, who is currently one of the best players in the world right now. Has been achieving some good things with Barcelona. Even got them some consecutive Champions Leagues, including a goal in the final. My feeling for this game is it'll be a 1-1 draw and it goes to penalties. Now, if it goes to penalties, I would back Sweden to win more. But that being said, I do think Spain would have the better chance of winning in the 120 minutes. So I've got them to go through. And then Australia versus France. This is a good game. You got the hosts against a team that usually does perform well in the World Cups. One of the best European teams there. Of course, we got to quarterfinals last time, reached the semi-finals last time, only just lost out to Germany for going to the final. That was a very competitive game. I have a feeling Australia are going to do it. I'm going to pick them to upset France. The fairy tale goes on. Sammy Kerr leads Australia to the semi-finals. And then England versus Germany. What a game this is. The finalists of the last Euros go head-to-head yet again. These are two of my 3 or 4 contenders to win the tournament. I mean, it went to extra time last time. England had won it through extra time. I don't know if Alexandra Popp is still active. Of course, she was a very good goal scorer en route to Germany getting to the finals of the Euros. It's a tough one. I think England do have the best manager in the world right now, certainly in the women's game. Also the best right back as well. I could go either way on this, but I'm leaning towards England to go through. And then we've got some good semi-finals. We've got USA versus Spain. USA, I don't think are as good as in the last 2 World Cups. Spain have been on the rise. I'm not fully sold on Spain, but I do think they would go very far. USA have the experience. I'm going to pick them to go through. And Australia versus England. Well, you could say Australia have boosted their case to beating England, having won in London earlier this year. It's a tough one, but I'm going to say Serena Wiegman at least does a repeat in terms of winning the Euros and then gets that same team to the final like she did with the Netherlands. Before I predict the final, I'm going to say Australia beats Spain in the 3rd place playoff. But let's go to the final, USA versus England. USA, maybe not what they were back when they'd previously won the World Cups. England do have some injury blows, including their captain, Leah Williamson, which is going to be a miss. However, the solution should be Jess Carter, who, of course, isn't as well known as compared to Leah Williamson, but she plays with Millie Bright at Chelsea, so there's already chemistry there. So on the defensive front, I'm not too worried. Good options in midfield, good options in attack through Rachel Daly, Alicia Russo, Chloe Kelly. I would say England have the best goalkeeper in the world in Mary Earps, the best right back in the world in Lucy Bronze. Whether I have England or Germany in the final, it's not really going to change too much who I think would win. I am going to say USA are runners up and England win the tournament. I think got the best manager, best goalkeeper, great depth in other positions, and if it goes to penalties, then I think Mary Earps would be a great keeper to step up. She's got a great physical size. She even proved how influential she could be on a penalty shootout against Brazil in a friendly. It was the finalissima between England and Brazil at Wembley. That's my overall thinking. But what do you think? Let me know, and let's hope for a great World Cup.